40 years ago, in 1977, an interesting idea was born outside the town of Marble Bar in Western Australia. At the time, the SAS, Special Air Service, were holding their training. This leather story began in the outback of Western Australia in 1977, 40 years ago. You will see here that we've got low mountain range and a lot of spinifex, and it is called the desert. The town of Marble Bar, nearby, has got the reputation of being the hottest town in Australia. Because it's very hot out in the Pilbara, the SAS, Special Air Service, were to do their desert training around Mount Edgar Station, that is. And so the officers were required to catch camels and prepare them for carrying the goods for at least a number of weeks out in the desert. These pack animals required special consideration. They were the young animals that roam freely in the Pilbara that came from maybe the Afghans in the 18th century. This is me teaching leatherwork to the years 6, 7 at Marble Bar Primary. You can't see much going on there because I've only just got the box of leather out. But I was known in the town as the leatherwork lady and the egg lady and the gardening lady and the dressmaker. So I had quite a few things to do in my life in Marble Bar. You can see the school kids on the right there. They were so happy that we had a day off school, because when the SAS comes to town, everybody stops what they're doing and go and watch the air display. Now the air display had a Chinook helicopter, and about 4 blokes were rappelling down, and then they scattered out somewhere in the desert, so we didn't see any more of them. I wasn't allowed to take photos of the Chinook, but I was allowed to take the photos of these SAS men. Now, in the capacity of leatherwork, this fella here asked me, do you do designs that aren't your own? I've got an idea for a backpack and I'm wondering if you can do it. I'd like it to be in camouflage. I get used to having all my things on my body while I'm working, and I just would like to have a similar situation. And then when I'm out in the bush, I've got my backpack, I'm on the trail, and then when I come to town, I've got a simplified version where I'll just have a shoulder strap, across the shoulder strap, instead of the full backpack, which would have a lot of things attached to it. Water, food, ammo, you name it, I'd like to be able to put it on. The particular design of this leather backpack was that it could have all of the things needed when out in the bush, so that you could have your water, your ammo, your food, whatever else you needed to take. And that would be the heavy backpack. You need padded shoulders, and you needed to have the opportunity to take things on and off at will. However, the town component of this bag was just to have a webbing across the shoulder, and very simple, so that it didn't look like there were SAS coming into town. Now, while this was a personal item for the gentleman, he said that he just got so used to having everything on his body while he was out on bivouac, and wanted to have one for his personal use, but couldn't see one anywhere. And so the journey of learning began. mine to source the material that was at least some way camouflage, and his to have trust that I would be able to make what I wanted in the 3 months before he returned from being out in the bush. I was really very lucky to have chanced upon a picture of a semi-camouflage printed leather in an American leather store, Brettuns village. In that instant, I knew that I could fulfill what this gentleman wanted, and so I was able to make the first dual-purpose marble bar town and country backpack. I haven't made one since, but I did keep the leather scraps as a memory of that day because I didn't take any photos. Here we see the 2 men from the unit, or the SAS, Special Air Service, bringing their trained camels into the main street of Marble Bar, 1977. It was a memory for me that has special and fond recollections. I think every time I see that camouflage leather, I think about this particular unit. And it was only recently that I thought I can actually make a similar bag using the offcuts and canvas. And so it was that 40 years between bags I decided to design for Bradley a town and country marble bar bag. Because the leather took such a long time to get from USA to Western Australia, I had limited time to make this bag, and in my rush to get it to the gentleman, name unknown, I did not take photographs. I regret that to this day. However, my memory is good enough to know what I did in most part was to have lots of press studs so that things could be taken off and added later. And then there was the heavy duty, what you would call weight bearing straps, and then the across the shoulder simple webbed. So this is the guy who actually asked me could I make the backpack, the one that had a camouflage. He had seen the camouflage leather in a leatherwork magazine from America, and there was a place called Brettuns village in Maine, and they had a forest-like photo of the leather. And so he said, it'll take months to get here, but if you want to, I'll do this Australian-American exchange. So he said, if I go ahead and order it, will you make the bag for me to my specifications? And I said, you're on. This is an aerial view of Warrawagine Station. This is what the SAS Chinook would have seen as they went further into the desert. You can see as far as the eye can go to the horizon. There's not a lot of vegetation out there, but somehow the camels survive. see where I'm going. I'm going to get around this corner. Come on, Faffy, you and I can do this. Round you come. Now comes another pin. Push the leather in. Move it around. Alright, straighten it out. Come on, leather, you can do this. Alright, around the corner. Come on, sweetheart. Alright. Yeah, we're nearly there. Alright, 1 foot and 2 pair of hands. Come on, baby. Alright. Okay, we have 1 bag. It's inside out at the moment. It's going to be a real difficult thing to get it in the right way, but that's for another time because I've got to do some repair stuff here. All right. So here's the various parts of the Bradley backpack, the one that's multi-purpose. These are the straps for the heavy duty, fill the bag, go away for a week. This is the one for just being around town, don't need to have the harness. This is capable of adding and taking away components. We have 1 front flat there. We've got an ammo bag there. We've got a marble bar style water bottle holder. And this is another front for the backpack. Now you can see that I've made this for hunting. And the whole idea was that we'd have a part of the story here and part of the story there for Bradley. So basically, this is the finished product, although not on anyone's back. I haven't got a 13-year-old close by. Components of this bag are hand stitched, lots of press studs. We've got pockets here and pockets there. We can close the bag up so that it's narrow, and over the back is where you would put the heavy duty fittings, which is there. This heavy duty harness attaches to the back with this 5-way attachment. These are used only when the heavy harness is on. These are used when you have the webbing across the shoulder. This flap, which I love because of the forest look, can go on here. the water bottle can attach itself there or there. This little mat can be attached up there. Basically, Bradley's going to have a lot of fun working out what this thing can and cannot do. These harness pieces here are now attached, and so when you bring it forward, this will be on the front of the body, and there's another quick release buckle that will help you to take it off more easily, and of course that helps to keep it on when you've got a lot in your backpack. And these are for attaching small things such as water bottle, a bag for your dried fruit and your energy balls and everything else you need, trail mix, what have you. This side can take whatever you want to fit in here. We've got Velcro in a variety of places so that you can organise whatever you want to put in there. In fact, you can have another water bottle. You can put it down there. And of course, it comes off very easily, even one-handed. So this has got a lot of options inside it. You can put things in there, knife, fork, spoon, what have you, and then wrap it all up. So this is a bit of a look inside. Fairly spacious. Pockets for things to put under there. There's a zip area there. I'll just see if I can swing it around. So you can zip stuff up there. And there's my name tag. Got to have that on the Marble Bar backpack. looking like an SAS unit until you see Bradley's name, etc. This roll, which is canvas and leather, can be used for whatever you want. You might have a rough bit of crappy dirt. You can sit on it. These three studs here, these three studs match these three. So you can keep that up and put that on there, thereby hiding the name in case you want to be private. And of course all of those attach via the 5 press studs, which are of course over the back here. So this particular front flap can be connected with 7 of the studs, and there's male and female in various positions, as here, male and female, so that you can connect things in different ways. Some of them loop up like that, and others come across from the back to the front. It's basically a matter of test it out, see what it can do, and hopefully it will be useful. So when we flip this bag over, this one can go over here. So it will do up this way. And of course it'd be a lot easier if I had both hands. So there you go. That's one idea. Now it's not completed yet. You can take this off. Yeah, like a band-aid. And if you wanted, you could put that on this way. So it does go on in different positions. And then these two can meet at the back. There we go. Now the purpose of that is if you want to keep things in a different place and it's a different size component, you've got this idea here. You can do lots of things to flip things up and slide them over. When you want to use your backpack, but you're not out in the bush, you're not out in the woods, you're not on the trail, you take this off. You disconnect these parts here from there, and you disconnect the bottom ones, and you actually reconnect them up so that they're not just flapping. So we've got rid of that, and we've got different parts here that we can say, yeah, I want to have that over the side. So that can go over the side. This is the minimalist town look. You don't have any of your hunting scenes showing, and you have a single strap that goes across the shoulder and across the body. So that's your minimalist look. Now these two are on swivel hooks, so they can go however you want, but they also can unhook and go down here to the D. So put it on the D and do this one as well. Put it on that D. Oops. And then you would extend it out to its full height of length. So when it's at its full length, oh, I've forgotten one thing. When it's at its full length, you can in fact tuck one side under the handle and the other side back to the D, and with a little bit of jiggling around, you've got a minimalist backpack. So if you aren't in the bush, you don't want all of that stuff, you can limit what you've got and put your iPad or electronic devices in there. Smaller, quite useful actually. I'm pretty proud of myself for having remembered most of the hints that the SAS officer had told me about. So this is the backpack in its simplest form. Over the shoulder, and you can adjust it with this part here. So backpack simplest form, enjoy. So there we are, we have it on the swivel hooks. Backpack with webbing and the simplest look. So you can see that the backpack has the swivel hooks on these D's at the bottom. We've connected those two up because we don't want them flapping, and it's simply through the handle. Want to carry it? Carry it easily. There we go, with the heavy webbing. Over the shoulder. Do up this clip. That of course is adjustable. There we have it. Not bad, eh? So this connected here and here. So to disconnect it, you take that off, you take that off, take that off, take that off. There you go, your carry bag. Okay then, let's put the pieces together. One strap, two strap, down the bottom, down the bottom, swing it over, Right. That's for your energy balls, your muesli, your trail mix. You have them close at hand. That's for your regular drinking where you want it rather quickly. Or you could put your compass on there or what have you. And this one you can actually connect to the D's, shorten it and bring it around the front. It's just that I can't reach it at the moment. So it's got a lot of adjustment. Got your water bottle, you got your ground sheet, your backpack, ready to go hunting, hiking, strolling through the woods, whatever you want. So you've got your backpack on and you want to actually swing this stomach strap around. So you've got it swiveled on one side, you bring it around and with a little bit of wriggling and jiggling you can actually do this yourself, but I reckon it'll be easier with a friend. So you get your fingers in such a position that you know your D is there, and there you have it. Now, this is its lowest adjustment, so not so good for skinnies, but you could put other things on here, on your webbing, like they do in the army. And then to take it off, it's just the usual. Unhook, unhook, bring it around, unhook, and there you go. And of course, one of the other things that I've forgotten to mention is that if you don't want these sheepskin shoulder covers, you can peel them off. If maybe it's too hot, I'm not sure, but I like it for its softness. So the Velcro comes into its own once again. There you go. And don't forget that if you want to be able to get to your bag, you can have your flap in this position. Alright, so flap can be in that position. That gives you easy access to the stuff inside. It just flaps there, but at least it's still on you. So there we have it. That's the army camouflage look. If you just wanted an overnight bag, say you're going on a trip on a plane and you just want to take everything in one pack, you can have it like so. Notice that we've got the side part that's connected with 5 studs. Those same 5 studs are at the top, so that's connected there. You might want it across the shoulder and up close so that you can rest your arm. This still looks okay, and there you have it, your overnighter. And as I said, you use these ones that can be taken off completely, and to make sure you don't lose them, you put them down this bottom part, which shouldn't be too troublesome to your back. And then this comes off and zip up. Push down, and if you wanted, this could go back on there. Simple. When not in use, you can connect all of the webbing that's not required at the moment and wrap it in this particular front flap. So you would pull it across there. Now, something else that I have neglected to say is that you can actually have that up there, and then you can have something connecting under there and around there like a thonging piece. Now, these thonging pieces are secured underneath the centre there, and each end comes up and around there. So these little leather parts, easily take them apart and put them inside. So it's a good way to have it closed when this has got so much in it that you can't use the studs because it's too full and fat. So that's a method of doing that. If you wanted to get into a very private place, you unzip there, and you'll see nothing much happening until you lift the top part, which will reveal another zipped compartment, and inside there you have your key. Now, you can have cash in there. It's only small, but because it is hidden under there, it's less likely that people will find it. It's meant to be difficult to get to. So that's the mobile bar backpack, and it is very much a secret compartment. Here we have the marble bar inspired drink holder, and if you want to know where Marble Bar is, this is Australia, this is Western Australia, and indeed Marble Bar, the hottest town in Australia, is about there. Perth, Western Australia, land of the jumping kangaroo.